France would not, under no circumstance, troops in Gabon and Djibouti. France is playing a game. Alassane Ouattara is saying that this nonsense must stop. And according to France, they are saying that their plan is to maintain. Now, let's move to the civil war and crisis period. They are in Ivory Coast doing everything possible to go after the Sahel. It is because of this agreement they signed. Hello, everybody. Thank you for choosing this channel today. Guys, I am very happy. This is a surprise update. Breaking news, of course. Something that I know you never thought is going to happen from the beginning of this year 2025. I'm also not expecting it. Ivory Coast, that we all know that Ivory Coast is the home of France. That is the bedroom of Macron. Ivory Coast is now asking the French troop to withdraw from the country. You see, I think after the manner of Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, and now Senegal also asking, and Chad also is following, and Botswana on one side, I think the rest of African nations are waking up. Even those we think they are puppets, these days we are seeing them making some shifts. You see that? No, people, it is time to wake up. When it is the right time to wake up, nobody will wake you up. You wake up on your own. France influence in Africa, or let me say the military presence of France in Africa, is now gradually, let me say, reducing completely. Because as I'm talking to you right now, Ivory Coast has declared that French troops will leave the country. And I know many of you are happy about this, but don't be happy yet, because there is a serious narrative that something else is surrounding this whole issue of France removing their military base from Ivory Coast. But before we get into it, guys, click the like button by supporting us, and also subscribe to stay connected. Respect. What happened is that the president of Ivory Coast, Alassane Ouattara, whom we all know that is a puppet, complete puppet, somebody that we never thought to make this decision. And this is the same guy who is working against the Sahel. This is the same guy that Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso, the leader of Niger, the leader of Mali, all of them team up together to say that this guy is working with France to overthrow them. This guy is working with France to destabilize the Sahel. And what they are saying is true. They even made it clear that they can confirm that there is a base in Ivory Coast which is training, and these terrorists are being used by France against the Sahel. This is the same Alassane Ouattara that we are talking about right now. He was giving a speech, the end of year speech. He was giving his end of year speech, speaking in regards to the reformation of Ivory Coast military. They want to modernize the military of Ivory Coast. That is his reason, that because of the agenda to modernize the military and reform the military of Ivory Coast. As part of that agenda, the French military base need to vamoose out of the country. And there's this particular French military base which is in Port Bouët. The president gave orders that this particular base will be handed over to the Ivorian forces. It will no longer be handled by the French forces again. And you know, one of the reasons why I am so confused and also surprised is this: how the military bases of France came to Ivory Coast during the colonial period from 1893 to 1960, where France colonized Ivory Coast. During this time, French military forces were stationed there to maintain control and suppress resistance to colonial rule. It is not like what you are seeing today, that they said the French military base is there to protect their interests in Africa or in Ivory Coast. They are there to fight terrorism. No. The former goal of the French military base in Ivory Coast from the colonial era was to suppress resistance to colonial rule. The French military was there to oppose and fight everything that is coming to resist colonial rule. That was the former purpose. It was after independence that they changed the color. They just changed their color. They are the same people, but they changed the color. They changed their image. After Cote d'Ivoire gained independence in 1960, France and Ivory Coast signed defense agreement in 1961. This agreement allowed France to maintain a military presence in the country as part of a broader strategy to protect its investment in Africa and support the government of Ivory Coast, their puppets. They changed from suppressing resistance to colonial rule to become a protector of their interests. Remember, their interest is only one: to control these African countries. So this 1961 agreement between Ivory Coast and the French military base is just a new version of their activities of the colonial era. And in 1978, they have agreed to maintain a permanent base. 1978. And after the agreement, France now established its military base in Abidjan. And the name of this military base is the Port of Bouët. This is the same port that the president is now saying that they should hand over to the Ivory Coast forces. They are taking it away from them because this port has become a key hub for French military operation in West Africa. Now, let's move to the civil war and crisis period. In 2002 to 2011, French forces in Cote d'Ivoire play a major role during the Ivorian civil war. I will not go down into the negative aspect, but let's play according to their card. According to them, they intervene in protecting the civilians and blah 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 blah. So this also increased their influence during that period in the country. So as I said earlier, their former goal is to resist any attempt to stop colonial rule, and they switch from there, and now they are now into defense and security agreement. And according to the defense and security agreement, this is the modern one. The defense and security agreement, this pact between Ivory Coast and France allowed the French military to intervene in crisis or conflict that threaten regional stability in French interest. That is the reason why they are moving towards the Sahel. They are in Ivory Coast doing everything possible to go after the Sahel. It is because of this agreement they signed, the defense and security agreement. So anything in the region that is trying to threaten the interests of France have the right to defend it and use whatever means it can be on the soil of Ivory Coast to do it. That is the reason why the Ivory Coast leader cannot do anything, because of this defense and security agreement between Ivory Coast and France military base. And when we talk about their interest is also, when you look at it, the economic interest is also involved, because Ivory Coast remain the biggest exporter of cocoa. France is after the cocoa, the oil, and now Alassane Ouattara is saying that this nonsense must stop. To me, this is a very great step towards real sovereignty, and this is amazing. I think the Sahel is practically impacting the rest of the Africa countries. As we are talking right now, in Chad, France has started withdrawing their troops already and handing over the military bases to the Chadian government so that it can be run by the Chadian forces. So this is significant decline of the influence of France in Africa. And currently, France has fewer than 2,000 troop stations in Djibouti and Gabon. Right now, Gabon and Djibouti are the places that are now accommodating part of France military bases of French troops. And according to France, they are saying that their plan is to maintain a small presence in Djibouti and Gabon, since Africans are showing growing interest in not having French military bases on their land. They prefer to minimize themselves to having just few troops in Gabon and Djibouti. This is according to France. Now, you don't have to be happy. You don't need to be happy yet. I know some of you are very happy that Ivory Coast is asking French troops to leave their country. Don't be happy yet, because others have different view about this. Political analysis are saying that France is playing a game. Some top political analysis are saying that what France is doing is just a way of rebranding itself, because it's like the people of Africa, which has fallen victim to the colonization activity of France, are now waking up to the reality of the long same face dealing of France. So France is just changing strategy. That is the news right now. That is the update circulating around this whole thing. I don't know if we should be happy or not, but this is a good move actually to me as Pan-African, because the truth of the matter is that France would not under no circumstance allow any African nation, be it Togo, be it Gabon, be it Senegal, be it Cameroon, be it Ivory Coast, be it any Francophone country or whoever, to have their military, even their police station in France. It is not going to happen. France cannot afford to have your men or black people, or let me put it in simple English, Africans, to even be having guns moving around their country. So it is an insult to our sovereignty for us to have these people having their military in our country moving around as if our militaries are not able to protect us. They made the whole thing look like we cannot protect ourselves, we can't fight on our own, we can't do anything. We have become children that they have to be taken care of. No, this nonsense needs to stop. And I think the Sahel has influenced this movement, and It is jumping. I'm just loving it, guys. So lovely people, this is the breaking news. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected.